U.S. consumers are likely to feel the pinch at the coffee shop as recent trade shifts redirects Brazilian coffee away from the American market.
Customers could soon feel the pinch when they order their favorite caffeinated drinks. About 1/3 of the coffee consumed here in the U.S. comes from Brazil, which is now facing a new 50% import tax starting today.
They say a good day starts with coffee. But what if your morning brew just became a luxury? Across America, millions are waking up to a bitter surprise. Their favorite coffee now costs far more than it did just weeks ago. From sudden White House tariff moves to Brazil's tightening grip on exports, the ripple effect has reached Walmart and Costco shelves, where some blends have doubled in price overnight. Could this be just a temporary jolt, or the start of a new, expensive coffee era? Let's break it down in today's video. Note: this video is an independent analysis based on public sources. It does not represent any organization or political stance. We encourage you to think critically and share your thoughts in the comments. On August 1st, 2025, Washington announced a 50% tariff on all imports from Brazil, including coffee. The official pitch? Support U.S. growers in Hawaii and Puerto Rico and cut reliance on massive suppliers like Brazil. But there's a problem. America's coffee farms can't replace Brazil's enormous output, especially for mass-market brands. Shortages and price hikes were almost inevitable. Brazil isn't just another coffee exporter. It's the powerhouse, supplying roughly 1/3 of the U.S.'s green coffee each year. Its year-round climate, decades-old trade networks, and competitive prices have made it essential for brands like Folgers, Kirkland, and McCafé. And long-term contracts with U.S. roasters mean this supply chain isn't something you can just swap overnight. The tariff didn't just rattle markets, it rattled Brazil. Officials called it an unfair blow to international trade and began exploring deals with Europe and Japan, signaling they won't let the U.S. dominate their export market. If Brazil pulls back faster than expected, American coffee supplies could tighten even more. Retailers reacted fast. At Walmart, Folgers jumped 17%, Great Value surged 60%. Costco's Kirkland House Blend rose 47%, Tim Hortons 20%, and McCafé 13%. For retirees and families on a budget, the change was instant. Brands once bought without a second thought now require a double take at the price tag. Some are switching to cheaper instant coffee, others are cutting back entirely, even after decades of drinking it daily. But here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about tariffs. Brazil's coffee belt has been hammered by 2 years of punishing drought in Minas Gerais and Sao Paulo, draining water supplies and stressing crops. Farmers watered less, trees grew slower, and blossoms came unevenly. Then came an unexpected frost, scorching leaves, killing young plants, and forcing replanting that will take years to mature. This climate chaos has rippled through the global coffee chain, driving prices up before they even reach your cup. So, is this the beginning of a permanent coffee crisis? Or just a painful wake-up call? Stay tuned as we break down what's brewing next. Your morning coffee might be costing you more than you think, and not just in money. Brazil's coffee exports have dropped sharply, and as supply shrinks, prices at export ports surge, pushing up retail prices in big markets like North America. The problem isn't just the beans. Shipping costs are also climbing. Since the pandemic, empty containers often end up in the wrong places, driving freight rates higher. Add unstable fuel prices, shaped by both market swings and global tensions, and the cost of shipping coffee per ton has become unpredictable. These extra expenses almost always land in the consumer's lap. Many hoped countries like Colombia and Vietnam could fill Brazil's gap, but nature had other plans. In Colombia, heavy rains, slow harvests, and hurt Arabica quality. In Vietnam, heat waves and unusual droughts threaten Robusta yields. Without a strong backup source, the market struggles to absorb Brazil's shortfall. Meanwhile, coffee demand is rebounding fast. Cafes are buzzing again, and the morning coffee habit is back worldwide. But the supply-demand gap is widening, and prices react almost instantly. Just a $1.23 jump per pound may seem minor, only 2.7 to 4.1 cents more per cup, but for a 2-cup-a-day drinker, that's an extra 20 to $30 a year. For someone on a fixed income, that difference could mean the cost of a prescription, a tank of gas, or a few family meals. The pinch is sharper when retailers keep low inventory. Their just-in-time model cuts storage costs in normal times, but when prices spike, restocking is costlier, and consumers feel it right away. Loyal coffee drinkers in Canada and the U.S. are noticing the change. A glance at recent receipts tells the story. Costco's Kirkland House blend jumped from $18.99 to $23.99, a 47% leap in one move. McCafé rose from $24.79 to $27.99, a 13% bump. At Walmart, Folgers climbed 17%, while budget brand Great Value spiked nearly 60%. Even everyday supermarket coffee won $6.90 to $7.10 a pound, now averages $8.13, a 14 to 18% jump. For a household buying 3 pounds a month, that's $37 to $44 more per year. 4 pounds a month means $49 to $59 extra. Premium coffee drinkers might be paying $50 to $100 more annually. For millions, the choice becomes clear but tough. Cut back on a daily pleasure, switch to a cheaper blend, or trim spending elsewhere. The rising price of coffee isn't just about numbers. It's about how quickly a small change can ripple through daily life. They say you can tell a nation's mood by the taste of its morning coffee, and lately, it's been bitter. Behind the recent price jumps lies a deeper story. Brazil, the world's largest Arabica supplier, has been hit by droughts and frosts, choking supply. Coffees depending heavily on Brazilian beans now face sharper price hikes than blends from mixed origins. Online forums buzz when 100% Colombian quietly disappears from labels. Some see it as a downgrade in quality, others as harmless rebranding. Taste tests divide people. A few detect change instantly, others swear it's the same. In the southern U.S., older coffee lovers complain loudly about rising prices, calling it an attack on their daily ritual. Some small cafes say customers now care more about bean origin and quality than price, while retirees on fixed incomes cut back from 4 cups a day to 2, or switch to cheaper brands. Losing that 100% Colombian label feels like losing trust. This shift could push buyers towards smaller local roasters or online brands, but it could also splinter the market and create more uncertainty. For big chains like Starbucks or Tim Hortons, these swings are manageable thanks to budgets and brand loyalty. But for small-town cafes, where a handful of regulars keep the lights on, it's a crisis. Over half rely on Brazilian coffee for its mild, smooth flavor preferred by older customers. Now, with a 50% tariff and soaring import costs, many are forced to use cheaper, stronger beans from Asia, altering the taste and alienating loyal patrons. Sales drop, menus shrink, hours get cut, and staff are laid off. What's disappearing isn't just coffee, it's community, routine, and a piece of daily comfort. Tariffs meant to protect domestic farmers may benefit a handful, but U.S. coffee production covers only a tiny fraction of demand. For most, the cost simply lands in their cup. With over 40% of North Americans over 55 living on fixed incomes, coffee price hikes hit hard. Add inflation in food, electricity, and fuel, and it's more than financial, it's psychological. Many remember when $20 bought a month's supply, or a large cafe coffee cost $1.50. Now, crossing certain price points feels like losing control over spending. The story echoes past tariff battles with steel, aluminum, and softwood, policies meant to shield domestic industries that instead fueled retaliations and price spirals. Coffee, still mostly imported, is no different. If tariffs target major suppliers like Brazil, it's the consumer who pays. Analysts warn benefits to U.S. farmers are small, while costs spread widely. Historically, coffee prices have spiked before, like in 1975, when frost in Brazil doubled prices in a year. But that was nature's doing. Today's spike is a mix of politics, climate change, and logistics. Costs are rising at every step. Farming, roasting, packaging, shipping. Alternative suppliers like Ethiopia, Vietnam, or Kenya face risks from drought, storms, and weak infrastructure. Even if they scale up, flavor differences may not win over die-hard fans of a certain bean. Over the next year, prices aren't likely to fall quickly. In time, the market could rebalance, but habits might already have changed. Retirees who switch to cheaper coffee may never go back. This isn't just a trade dispute. It's a reminder that what happens in Washington or Brasilia can reach your kitchen table. So the question is, would you pay more to protect local production or fight to keep your coffee affordable? This was just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button and buckle up. Digital Garage has so much more in store.